Howdy. How you doing? Hey Josie, welcome back. We moved the camera slightly. I was gonna move down to the other spot, but there's people there fishing from there right now. You hear me all right? So annoying that the stream craps out like that. I really need to come up with a solution for that. It just kills the whole vibe of the live. All right, gotta put a worm on. Hold on. So you feeling better, Josie? I know you said you weren't feeling well earlier. John Carey says, hey, what are you catching? Welcome to Live, John. We are catching nothing. We're fishing for carp on the pole with the bell, and then I just rebaited this pole that's got a high-low rig on it with worms. We're targeting carp and sucker, two fish that most people never fish for. There's a whole bunch of stuff in here that might eat the worms, though. Bullheads, which are little catfish, perch, trout, largemouth bass. Josie says not really, but I hate doctors, so I'm dealing. I think it's a sinus infection. Ah, that sucks. I used to get those a lot when I was a kid. I haven't in years though. But just the pressure, I remember, it'd give me massive headaches. That sucks. Well, I hope you feel better. It's no fun being all stuffed up and sick like that. Cooper said hi. Welcome to the live, Cooper. How you doing? Gardner said hi. Welcome to the live. How are you doing? Gardner says I have cancer. Oh man, Gardner, I'm very sorry to hear that. Keep up the good fight, man. You can beat it. Weasel said, what's the biggest fish you've caught in there? This particular pond, the biggest fish I pulled out of here is a 8.5 pound carp. just a common carp. And about a 3-pound, a little under 3-pound largemouth bass. I've also caught an almost 2-pound. Oh, it was a good bite. Did I get it? God, grr. What is the deal here? White sucker, just under 2 pounds. Mammer John said hi. Hey, Mammer John, welcome to the live. Easton said hi. How you doing, Easton Calhoun? Welcome to the live. Zeke FN said hi. Zeke, how you doing, man? Welcome, welcome. Master Fisher Bowdy said hi. Hi, Master Fisher. What are you a master fisherman of? Gardner says, can you catch a fish for me? Because I love fishing. I will see what I can do, Gardner. That's what we are. That's the goal here. Catch fish. I've had tons of bites. I just have not managed to set the hook in anything for whatever reason. Easton says hi. Welcome back, Easton. Josie says, a few weeks ago, I was up until 4 a.m., couldn't breathe, so I went to the ER. They said I had asthma and bronchitis. Took steroids, got an inhaler, but I'm still shitty. Oh, man. So it's a prolonged illness. That's even less fun. Well, I do definitely hope you feel better. Desiree Hardesty, welcome to the live, asks, what's the biggest fish you've ever caught? How many pounds? 22.5 pound, 42-inch northern pike. That's the biggest fish I've caught so far. Or it landed, I should say. I've caught much bigger, but lost them trying to get them into the net or land them on the boat. 22.5 is the biggest I've managed to land and get a picture of. Weasel, oh, that was Weasel that asked that. No. Oh, you asked the same question. Yeah, the northern pike, 22.5 pounds. It was about 42 inches. If you want to check it out, it's on FishBrain. If you look me up at Vox, V-O-X, you can look at a lot of the fish that I catch. I do post there. So you can see all the monsters that I pull out of the waters here in Montana. Zeke FN says, I'm doing great, started fishing, was wondering if you have any fish. I used to play video games, by the way. Haven't caught anything tonight. This pond has been quite picky lately. The fish here are being picky. But we've been in a giant heat wave. They're just not biting well. But the biggest that I've caught out of here is 8.5 pound. There's some pretty good sized carp that are in this pond. I love blumpkins. Well, that's good to know. How much deer could a woodchuck saw if a woodchuck could saw deer? I don't know. I love blumpkins. You tell us. We're all eager to find out. Zeke FN asks, I meant tips. Tips for catching. Sorry, I need to look back. I'm getting nibbles on this pole and I'm trying to focus on it so my brain is not fully on this chat. Oh, there's the bite. He's nibbling. Fishing is good, points up. Are you referring to I love blumpkins, fishing is God? All right, I gotta set the pole down for a minute here. I am tired of missing these bites, or I gotta set the phone down. I'm getting a nibble here and just had a really solid bite, and I want to catch whatever the heck this is. So give me a moment and then I will catch up on the chats, or try to at least. Are you gonna bite? Come on! Oh, something just lifted my bait up off the bottom. Picked it up and swam towards me. Come on, fishy. Are we doing this or what?
Stop feeling it. I'm not getting bit now.
Come on now.
No, come on.
Meh. I think they might have just stole my worm. All right, let's catch up on these chats. Let's see here. Master Fisher Bowdy says my biggest is a 37.5-inch northern pike. That's a good sized northern pike. I haven't caught that many over 30 inches. We don't get a lot of huge pike here in central Montana. I've caught, I mean, 100, probably well over 100 that are under 30 inches, but I've caught probably, I want to say half a dozen or so that are over 30 and one over 40. Master Fisher Bowdy, you're also on Fishbrain. Right on. Look me up. Hit me up at VOX and add me. And let me know that, leave a comment or shoot me a message and let me know that you're from YouTube and I'll check out your page. Desiree Hardesty says I subscribed. Thank you for the subscription. I really appreciate that. Any of y'all that are subscribing and hitting the thumbs up, thank you. John Boy says hi. Welcome to the live. Welcome back, John Boy. Blacksmith Arenes? Blacksmith Arenes? I have a question. When you set up your rig, did you realize you were gay or have you always been a pillow biter? Thank you for the feedback there, Blacksmith. Get fucked. Tossed Arc B asks, unrelated question, will John Cena retire with the WWE title? I don't know. I don't follow wrestling. You and Blacksmith might be able to chat about that one. Stop smoking, bro. Breathe normal air. You're right. It's a terrible habit. It is one of my vices. One of these days I'll convince myself to quit. Kickin' Bass Bros said hi. Welcome to the live, Kickin' Bass Bros. Your local fisherman asks, have you caught any today? No, we have not. We've been skunked so far on the stream. I've had tons of bites. They've been nibbling at my pole the entire time it's in the water. But unfortunately, I have not managed to set the hook on any of them. This pond is just loaded with tiny fish, like little bluegills, little pumpkinseeds, little perch, and they just harass the crap out of your line. My hook is way too big to catch them. Every once in a while I'll snag one because I feel the bite, but I'm not set up to catch itty bitty fish. I'm trying to catch the bigger fish. Desiree Hardesty says, I will download Fishbrain app just for you. It's a useful app. It's better if you use the paid version because you can see all sorts more data, but it's still really useful, even the free version. You can see what water bodies people are catching stuff on. Oftentimes people will post in the comments, what they're using to catch it, so you can get baits. And it's really handy just to use to keep a log of all the fish you've caught. I love the app. I promote it to anybody and everybody that's a fisherman. I think it's one of the most handy apps you can have if you're somebody starting out fishing, or even if you're an avid lifelong fisher. What is your Fishbrain thing so I can follow you? It's at Vox, VOX. Black Smithereen says, I've heard that one before. Hook is too big to catch them. Yeah, I do it on purpose. I mean, some people like coming here and catching, 50 or 100 bluegill, but they're like 2-3 inches. They're just itty bitty. So I purposefully oversize my hook so I don't catch them. But then what ends up happening is they still bite at your. I just got a new follower on Fishbrain, Bowdy Bontrager. Is that you? Yeah, that must be you, Master Fisher Bowdy. All right, I saw the ad. I will check out your profile when I'm off stream here. But yeah, I purposefully oversize my hooks so I don't catch the baby perch, the baby bluegill, the baby whatever. But what ends up happening is then they just harass the crap out of your bait, and you get little pecks and nibbles the whole time. And those itty bitty little fish, they bite harder than what you would think, what you would expect. So here I am over here yanking lips off the poor little things, thinking I got a a good bite from a sucker or something, or maybe even, you know, a largemouth bass. Nope, it's just a bunch of biddies, little dinks. Your local fisherman asked, what state do you live in? Seems pretty cold for summer. Oh, it's earlier today when I was driving here, the temperature in my truck said it was like 92 or 94 degrees. It's warm. The sun is starting to set though. It's cooled down quite a bit. I would say we're probably in the high 70s right now. Um, Gentle breeze. It's perfect out right now. This is the perfect temperature. Mark Mark Belinbin. I'm a fisherman here in Hawaii. Oh man, I've always wanted to visit Hawaii. I want to go check out the volcanoes, and your beaches there look absolutely gorgeous. And I am not a fan of swimming in water. I'm a weenie. I get in the water around here. Our water temperatures, you know, during the dead of the summer, like mid 70s, the water temperature gets, and it feels cold to me. And I've always heard that the ocean around Hawaii is like getting into bath water. And I think I might actually swim in that. I don't know. And how is it day? I'm in Montana. I mean, it's 8:32. We still got, I don't know, hour and a half of daylight here. Blacksmitherine says, hey, nothing wrong with dinks. Leave us alone. I mean, yeah, sometimes it's all right. At this point, I would probably be happy with catching a dink just so I could get the skunk out. I don't like going fishing and not catching anything. Um, but yeah, I prefer catching. What I usually fish for in this pond is carp, and I also fun to catch are the white suckers. I don't know what it is. I think the sucker is one of the prettiest fish here in Montana. Nobody ever targets them either. But that's what I like to fish for here. Everybody else comes here to fish for either bluegill or largemouth bass. Mark Belinbin says, lots of fishing here, but not so much freshwater fishing, which I've always wanted to try. Yeah, do you have any freshwater bodies? You probably do, I would imagine, because you do have some mountains there in Hawaii. But yeah, you're surrounded by the ocean. I don't imagine you have much fresh water to pick from. The bass angler says hi. Welcome to the live, bass angler. How you doing? Welcome, welcome. I see them thumbs up flying. Thank you guys. I appreciate that. This is the third time I've had to restart my live, so I apologize to those that get booted out and have managed to come back. I don't get the greatest signal here, and I have not yet found a good spot that stays in 3 bars. So it occasionally messes up and I have to restart the live. So thank you guys for coming back. Here in Texas, we catch PBs every day depending on where you go. Your local fishermen, there are some big dang fish down in Texas. I don't know what you do in the waters there, but I know y'all have them redonkulously large largemouth down there. I don't know what the heck. Huge. I would love to catch, you know, a 13-pound or a 16-pound largemouth. It sounds amazing. Have you ever went deep sea fishing? Weasel asks. No, I've never. I fished from the shore. I've done ocean fishing when I was younger, but I've never fished from a deep sea vessel. Honestly, being on a boat in the middle of the ocean kind of scares the crap out of me. Maybe someday, but nope, I have not. Odyssey Beats says hi. Welcome to the live, Odyssey Beats. Odyssey asks, who is that guy across the lake just staring at you? This is a pretty popular local pond here. Everybody comes here to fish for bass. It's one of the only water bodies within probably a 40-mile radius that has bass in it. So any people you see around here are usually fishing for bass, or like there's a kid down here, there's a guy down there. There's a bunch of kids over here swimming off the dock. More people swimming on the dock over across the way. Yeah, they're just fishing, Odyssey. Blacksmitherines asked, do you like Panther Martins? If so, which color is your favorite? I like them for brookies. I have probably 6 or 8 Panther Martins in my tackle box. I bust them out every once in a while if I'm fishing smaller streams or, you know, low flow rivers. I like brass or nickel, actually. I like to fish the brass. Gold too. Gold or brass when it's sunny outside, and when the sun starts to go down, I like to fish, like silver or nickel. CG25 says hi. Welcome to the live, CG. How you doing? Odyssey Beat says I'm just messing. Oh, yeah, no, you can see in the right-hand side of the screen, there's a guy over there with a bright yellow shirt on. I thought that's who you were talking about. Weasel asks, how long have you fished? Well, that's kind of a tricky question to answer. So I started fishing pretty young. I think the first time I fished, I was probably 4 or 5 years old. My dad used to take me out on the boat, or two. We'd do some bank fishing sometimes. My grandpa also used to take me down to the river, and we'd shoot the 22 shoot guns and fish. So I fished up until I was about, I don't know, 18 or so when I left for college. Gone for a few years. I came back for a few years. I fished during those years I was back here in Montana, but then I left again, and I was gone from Montana for almost 15 years, and I didn't fish at all while I was gone. And I just recently moved back here 3 years ago, so I have been heavily fishing since I got back. So I've been fishing for 35, 37 years, but out of that, there was a pretty good chunk of time where I took a hiatus because I was living somewhere that wasn't great fishing. Mark Belinbin says, we have some ponds, but not so much. All we have is peacock bass and tilapia for freshwater fishing, or we go to the river and catch prawns. That still sounds fun. Yeah, I've never caught a peacock bass or a tilapia. Tilapia are supposedly really good eating. Black Smithereens asks, have you ever seen a ghost or an alien? I don't know, man. That's an... We could talk about that one for hours. I could nerd out on paranormal stuff and aliens. Let's just say when I was little, there were a few occurrences where I'm pretty sure I saw UFOs in the sky. I live in Montana, central Montana, near one of the largest Air Force bases in the U.S. called Malmstrom Air Force Base, and there have been. Did y'all see that big ass fish right there? That was a good sized bass. Anyways, there have been a lot of UFO sightings around this area, around the Air Force Base. So I can't tell you for sure what I saw, but there was definitely not normal. As for paranormal, I've had some really weird encounters. Those ones are a little more personal to talk about. Maybe some stream we can go into that, but I don't feel like talking about that right now. Simple answer to your question is yes. Weasel says, wow, that's a long time. Yeah, I'm old, Weasel. I may not look it, but I'm in my 40s. Dog Barato, 7 chatos porco nopi. Dog Goberto. I'm sorry, I'm butchering your name, and I don't speak Spanish, man. No hablas español. Josie says, peacock bass are only fish I want to go catch. They're so beautiful. They are a neat looking fish. Dagoberto says fish. Does that mean fish? BG813 says hi. Welcome to the live. BG, how y'all doing? Oh, these fish are, I don't know why they're being so picky. That's something I keep saying I'm going to do, but I keep forgetting. I got my underwater camera and I wanted to bring it here and hook it up because it is fairly clear water, and I want to get some recordings of whatever the heck is nabbing at my line constantly that I keep missing. BG asks, have you caught anything? No, unfortunately, we've been skunked so far. Constant action on the pole. They're every few minutes I get a bite on this worm pole, but I suspect it's just bluegill harassing me. Desiree Hardesty, do you have to pay money for it? Desiree, no, the FishBrain, you can download it. It's just a free version. If you want to use the advanced features on there, like if you want to record the metrics or you want to see specifically where on a water body somebody caught something, or you want to see what time of the day is the best time of the day to fish a certain water body for a certain species. There are more advanced features that you can pay for. It ends up being, it's like $6 a month if you pay for a whole year, or $9 a month or something like that if you pay monthly. But you definitely don't need to pay for it to use it. It's still a wonderful app for the free version. Weasel asks, the carp I saw you on FishBrain you caught was big. Yeah, I caught my PB. I don't know, was maybe a month ago or so now. Um, Probably about an hour or so drive from here, near Fort Benton, Montana. 18.5 pounds that sucker weighed. Big old fat female. Gorgeous, gorgeous fish. Really fun. But yeah, just humongous. Black Smithereens asked, do you think Montana is too landlocked? I'm a guy who's lived in Alaska, Maine, New York, so I'm used to cold. I was just thinking I might like to move out there. I love Montana, honestly. Um, Western Montana, I think, would be my preference if you know I were somebody looking to move here. Around the Missoula area is some of the prettiest here in Montana, and they're just absolutely. If you like to fish, that's where you want to be. They're surrounded with some of the prettiest and best fishing mountain lakes, streams, and rivers in the whole in the United States, in my opinion. Central Montana is also wonderful. That's where I live. It's gorgeous around here. There's a lot of plains, a lot of farms. Um, Eastern Montana, some of the biggest fish in Montana come out of Eastern Montana. You got like Fort Peck, you have the dredge cuts, the Missouri River over that way, the Yellowstone River. In general, Montana's it's wonderful. It's a pretty low cost of state living, or low cost of living state as well. There's no sales tax here. You go to the store and something says $1, you hand them $1. You don't have to figure out what 8 or 9% of something is. It's a nice place to live. Pretty friendly people around here too. It is very rural though. Again, you're oh, there's something just picked up. That was bigger. Picked up my sinker and carried it a few feet towards me, but dropped it. Ah, driving me crazy. Yeah, Black Smithereens, don't take a vacation out here. You know, take a week or 2 weeks and come out. I mean, we got two of the most gorgeous parks, you know, national parks in the United States. We have Yellowstone, we have Glacier National Park. Take a week or two out here. Come visit. If you like it, you know, move. Verk asks, are you float or bottom fishing for carp? I've only ever had luck bottom fishing for carp. I take that back. I have one time while trolling, I also caught a carp, which was just a weird catch. But I'm bottom fishing. I got a high-low rig set up with bread balls on it. That's the most effective that I've found for carp. That's what I heard, Missoula. Thanks for the advice. Yeah, wonderful area, and it's one of the larger cities in Montana. I want to say it's like, oh, I'd have to check. Fourth largest. I mean, it's probably got 50,000 people or so in the metropolitan area, which is fairly small compared to, you know, other places in the U.S. But it's a college town. It's a party town. It's one of the few places in Montana that has, you know, live music venues. We get, you know, bigger bands that come through there. But yeah, my biggest draw to the Missoula area is the fishing. Desiree asks, okay, got it, but what's your name again? Vox, V-O-X on FishBrain. What's the bait you've caught the most carp on? I think I might want to start carp fishing. Carp fishing, honestly, is one of the funnest species to target. And a lot of people here in the U.S. have never really got into carp fishing. Bread balls is the most effective bait in most of the water bodies that I've tried, though in certain water bodies they won't eat it. And um, there's one place near here called Freeze Out Lake, which is a duck pond, and the only fish I think that are in there are carp. I tried fishing that place for 2 days straight with bread balls and had absolutely zero bites. The moment I put worms on, I was pulling them out left and right. So it depends. You got to really try different things in your water bodies, but the three most common things they will bite off of: bread balls, worms, or fresh corn, like sweet corn. You can either do it fresh off of the stalk, which works the best. It stays on there better. The kernels are a little more rigid, hard. But otherwise, canned corn. Frozen corn doesn't work real well. It's just too mushy. Bowdy says, I went on Fishbrain and followed you. Yeah, I saw your ad, Bowdy. I will check out your profile. Fishing with Tito. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the live. Tito, how you doing? Bouncer, you're back, brother. I never really leave. Right on. Welcome back, Bouncer. Thanks for coming back and hanging out. Vert says, cool, thanks. Yeah, Vert, any of y'all that have never carp fished before, try it out, man. They're not a fish you catch to eat, but if you want a good fight, you will have never fought something like a carp if you're fishing for freshwater fish. A 3 to 5 pound male common carp will feel like you got a 20-pound salmon on the line. They're ridiculous. And if you catch a big carp, get ready. I've never had, until I started carp fishing, I've never actually had a fish spool me. And by spool me, I mean run every last bit of my line out to the knot on my pole. Since I've started carp fishing, I've had it happen twice, and it's exhilarating. There's nothing quite like it. I continue to follow, but the self-proclaimed legends don't. Bouncer, what are you talking about, man? I'm pretty sure I'm always lurking. Yeah, Bouncer, you're in here quite often. I appreciate it. Always nice to see people return and hang out. Black Smithereen says, I caught a carp once before with a propeller off coast of Louisiana. My coworker smoked the carp and took out all the bones by hand. It was amazing tasting. I've heard carp's really good to eat. They're very bony. But I've also heard it depends a lot on the quality of water, on where they're harvested from. If you're pulling them out of a night, I mean, that's in general for fish. A lot of people keep fish and eat them from whatever water body they pick them out of. I'm pretty picky. I've noticed that the taste and quality of the meat that you get from fish is highly consistent with the quality of the water of where you're pulling them out. So if you got a nice clean stream, nice clean pond, nice clean lake, you're going to tend to pull out better quality, better tasting fish. I wouldn't eat any fish that comes out of this water body. It's clean, clear water, but if you can see the guy on the camera over there in the yellow shirt across the pond, about 25 yards behind him where that fence is a sewage lagoon, which is in rural areas. It's kind of that's where they pump all the gross stuff from the sewer, and yeah, so there's a poop pond over there. And I can't imagine that stuff doesn't leach into this water over time, so I wouldn't eat anything out of here. But yeah, I've heard from quite a few people that carp, if prepared properly and taken out of a nice clean water body, is actually a really good eating fish. I've never tried it. I really only eat pike and sometimes walleye, sometimes catfish. Jeffrey Figueroa asked, did you catch anything yet? Nope, still skunked. Weasel says, okay, thank you for telling me that. No problem. Tominski, Tom Skins. Jeez, I can't read. Will you take the damn bait? Quit playing with it. So just keeps picking it up and carrying it like 2 feet towards me and then setting it back down. Tom Skins, welcome to the live. How you doing? Bouncer says, I love good content. Don't we all? Tom Skins says, same. Desiree Hardesty says, will you be alive? Will I be alive tomorrow? I hope so. I mean, I don't have any plans on dying sometime today, but you never know. I could get hit by a bus on the way home from fishing, or, a plane could fall out of the sky and kill me while I'm sleeping. But I'm pretty sure I'm going to be alive tomorrow. Oh, will I be live tomorrow? Maybe. I'm gonna try. I'm still. I need to find somewhere else to fish besides this pond. This pond is driving me nuts. Um, I have a couple of ideas on places I want to try, but I need to drive around and check cell phone signal. But I'm gonna try and go live sometime tomorrow afternoon or evening. Tom Skins says I subbed. Thanks, Tom Skins. I appreciate all any of y'all that are subbing and giving the thumbs up and participating in the chat. Y'all rock. Black Smithereen says Chinese eat it like candy. Yeah, I heard that it's a delicacy in China. But even here in the United States, I know that there's quite a few regions where carp is commonly eaten. Randy Roth, or no, Marco1234 says hi. Welcome, Marco1234. Thanks for coming to the live and hanging out. Randy Ross says, Bouncer Slab, I'm friends with Blue Steel and Poor Dirt Farmer. I talk on the phone with them. Randy, I'm not sure who you're referring to, but I guess you're talking to Bouncer, so that's okay. Bucko says, what's your opinion on trout bug in shallow 3 to 5 foot water? I mean, the only time I've ever fished for trout in 3 to 5 foot water is when I'm fishing super shallow streams. And normally what I do, I usually use either really small spinners like a Panther Martin, or another effective method that I've done is just bobber fishing. You put, a 6-inch, maybe an 8-inch leader on there with fluoro or mono and a hook and just a bobber and slowly reel it across the water. I'm not a fly fisherman, so I think that's maybe what you're referring to with trout bug. I've never got into fly fishing. It looks like too much work and it's so expensive, and none of the gear for it overlaps with, regular spin casting or bait casting. So, I don't know. It's fun to watch, and they definitely, fly fishermen catch the crap out of topwater when I'm sitting there struggling to catch other things. Black Smithereens, do you think peepers are actually aliens? I think so. I heard they're small frogs, but I've never seen one. Black Smithereens, I have no idea what the hell you're talking about. What the hell's a peeper? Weasel says, have you seen a gator in there before? I'm in Montana, bro. We don't have gators here. Unless you're referring to pike, because gator is one of the slang for pike. No, there's no pike in here, and we definitely don't have alligators in Montana. Desiree says, okay, I have to go to bed. Well, thanks for stopping by to hang out, Desiree. If you add me on Fishbrain, shoot me a message. Let me know. And have a good night. Hope you can stop back through the live sometime. Master Fisher Bowdy says, how long have you been fishing for today? Oh, we got here, I don't know, I want to say it was like 6:15, and it's almost 9 now, so a little under 3 hours. We've got the skunk. They're not, they don't want to come out and play today. They just want to steal all my worms. Dagoberto says 222 Frio. 222 Frio to you as well, my friend. Black Smithereens, peepers, tiny little frogs that sound like sirens. Maybe we only got them out here on the East Coast. I mean, we all have all sorts of frogs here in Montana, but I've never heard a frog that sounded like a siren, and definitely never heard anybody refer to them as peepers. So you might be right. That might be an East Coast thing. Well, Black Smithereens knows what you're talking about. Peepers come out at dusk. They're some of the most peaceful sounding nature sounds. I don't think we have them here in Montana. I'll have to look up and see what a peeper sounds like. Buko says, yeah, I love it. If I go to my local lake with my fly rod, I will no doubt catch things on top water. It's insane. You should just try a cheap Walmart rod first. It's very addicting. Yeah, maybe one of these days. I do have a couple of friends, acquaintances, I should say, on Fishbrain that I do fish with from time to time. One of them, I'll call him out here. He's a real good dude. He's on Fishbrain, Brian406. And he is a fly fishing machine. That man pulls some really cool fish out with a fly rod. Super, super friendly and knowledgeable as well. But I fish with him from time to time. I've never asked him to try his rod though. I always feel like I'm gonna tangle it or break it. And I don't want to mess up somebody's rod. Mama Cookie says, Randy, he'll be in a minute. Hey, Mama Cookie, welcome to the live. I have no idea who you're talking. Oh, Bouncer Slab, you there. You're talking to Mama Cookie, you know Bouncer apparently. Jonathan Orozco, any luck so far? No. we're skunked so far. They're biting. I'm failing at setting the hook though. I have oversized hooks for a lot of what's in here, which I think is why I'm having such a low hook ratio. But I'm trying to catch carp and suckers. I'm not trying to pull out dinks. Weasel, when do you have to end the live? We probably have about an hour, maybe an hour and 15 minutes before the light is gone and I won't be able to see my fingers in front of my face. So probably about an hour roughly. Mama Cookie, I'm his other half. Oh, okay. Well, welcome to the live, Mama Cookie. Randy Roth, I was going through the streams and seeing his name. Oh yeah, he's in here quite often, Randy. He hangs out. He pops in and out a lot. Friendly guy. Master Fisher Bowdy, do you normally catch fish where you are? Last year, this place, it was my place to go when I was in a funk, and I'm like, all right, I just need to catch a fish, because I always caught fish here. This year, it has been crap at this pond. I keep saying, and I don't know how to confirm it, I need to talk to Fish, Wildlife, and Park. I'm pretty sure there was a winter kill here. There was something, either the water quality was degraded and a bunch of fish died, or there was a winter kill, a freeze here. Because I have caught fish here this year, but the fish that I've been catching are much, much smaller than what I would normally expect, and much more few and far between. So I think over the winter, a large portion of the fish in this water body died, unfortunately. So it hasn't been great. It stinks because was one of my favorite spots to fish. It's literally, 5 minutes down the road from my house. I could pop down here and fish for 15 minutes and go on about my day, and I didn't feel like I wasted, an hour driving somewhere. And bear with me for a minute, I'm getting eaten alive by skeeters, so I'm gonna cover myself with poison. God, this stuff is so bad. Oh, man, you'd think they'd put some cherry flavor or something in there. Stuff tastes like hairspray and poison. Bah. Works good though. All right, let's see. Oh, I'm catching up on on chats here. Blackhawks fan said hi. Welcome to the live Blackhawks. Randy Roth, first time here. Randy, well, thank you for joining and hanging out. We're just hanging out, hoping to catch something. But we have had not great luck tonight. They're just eating all my worms. Weasel asks, is there catfish in here? Yeah, there's little, they're called yellow bullheads or black bullheads. Cute little things, but they're only, 5-6 inches. Fishy Fingers, hey Fishy Fingers, what's up, bro? Welcome, welcome. Black Smithereens, I can speak Spanish a little, we need to translate zombies. Yeah, if somebody can translate, I can't understand anything he's saying. He's been hanging out here, he keeps talking, I just have no idea what he's saying. Joe Snuffy says hello from Iceland. Good evening. You're on the other side of the planet. How you doing, Joe Snuffy? How's the fishing over there in Iceland? Blackhawks, what are you looking for? Carp on this pole and anything else that is hungry on this pole. We got worms. We have the universal bait on this pole that anything might bite. I'm looking for white sucker. That's what I'm trying to catch. But they're not hungry. Mama Cookie, Jackson. So many of y'all know each other. It's cool. Bouncer says, Randy Roth, I'm here. Welcome back, Bouncer. Black Smithereens, be nice to him. Come on, man. Mama Cookie, how's it going? Randy Roth, I'm in Florida. I fish a lot of saltwater. Yeah, saltwater fishing's so fun. There's just so many different things. I had a blast fishing in the ocean. Mama Cookie says, I'm good, Jackson. Black Smithereens, can you pipe down Florida? We don't want to hear it. Yeah, Florida fishing is pretty wild. Oop, I just clicked out of the chat. Hold on. What'd I do? Lisa Wilson says hi. Welcome to the live, Lisa Wilson. Ryder Foster says hi. Welcome. Welcome, welcome, all the new folks. Thank you for joining. Welcome to hang out and chat. We are trying to catch fish. I promise I know how. We're just... They're not cooperating tonight. Deborah Pott. Welcome back, Deborah Pott. How you doing? Bouncer says, I'm pretty sure I'm everywhere. Yeah, I see you in a lot of different labs there, Bouncer. You got like 10 tabs open and you're in every fishing live you can find. Randy Roth says, yeah, PDF is like my uncle, or like an uncle to me. Mama Cookie, you're all just greeting each other. Okay, I am officially caught up on chat, I think. Now if I could just catch a damn fish. I should probably, now that I say that, I should check. Hold on, I need to grab a charger for this phone before it dies, and then we're gonna rebait the hook. Because I think I have probably lost all of my worms. Any of y'all tiger musky fish? I'm always looking for people who tiger musky fish that can give me some pointers. It's the fish that is at the top of my bucket list right now. I have been trying for the last 3 years to catch a tiger muskie. And I actually have about a half a mile behind me. There's another pond that has tiger muskies in it. And I have been back there so many times, and I've only ever been able to get them to bite once. Solid bite. Bit frickin' my plastic in half. I don't know what the heck I'm doing wrong. I know they call it the fish at 10,000 casts, but come on now, they're all they are is striped frickin' northern pike, and I can catch northern pike all day, every day. I can't imagine they're that much more difficult to catch than frickin' tiger muskie, or than northern pike. Maybe I'm wrong though, I don't know. Bouncer says I don't own a PC, I'm just very good. Alright, Bouncer. SoCal, what's up, bro? I hung out your live for a little while, then I had to go run some errands and drop the girlfriend off at work, and by the time I got back, it was looking so nice outside, I had to go do some fishing myself. Looked like you were having a frustrating stream though, bro. I hope you're having a better day. Black Smithereen says, I've had 3 magnet rigs. They're awesome for boat ramps, but I've lost them all to children stealing them. You go have a smoke, come back, and they swiped them. What's a magnet rig? Fishy Fingers, how's your night going, man? Jackson, the July 4th 10K giveaway for 5th Conservative year went well, and I truly hope the best for everyone. I'm not sure what y'all are talking about. Diamond Tierra, welcome to the live Diamond. Where are you fishing? It's so dark here. I am in central Montana. It's just after 9 o'clock here. We have probably 45, maybe 50 minutes before the sun goes over the horizon. So we got about maybe an hour of light still left here. Where I'm at though, this pond is called Largent Bend. It's about a 5-acre pond. It's got largemouth bass and carp and pumpkinseed and bluegill and little perch. SoCal says, hi Jackson, I'm home and on my 3rd beer and I don't drink. One of them days, huh, SoCal? SoCal says, you didn't miss much. Well, you missed a lot, but you didn't miss much. Well, I've been here for 3 hours and all I've been doing is drowning worms and feeding them to the bluegill, so nobody's missing much over on my stream either. Iowa's Great Elijah, hello. Welcome, Iowa's Great Elijah. How you doing? Welcome to the stream. Julie Crotchett's Things, welcome Julie. How you doing? I'm doing pretty good. We're having a good night. Would be doing better if the fish would stop just stealing my bait and they'd hop onto the end of my line there. But other than that, doing good. Fishing magnets, bruh. The guys that pull up guns and... Oh, my brain fart. Okay, so you're magnet fishing. I've always referred to it as magnet fishing, not fishing magnets. Yeah, I've seen that. There's one of the spots, I do some fishing in town in Great Falls, like under the bridge and stuff like that. And there's oftentimes when I'm down there fishing under the bridge, there's people throwing those off the side of the bridge, pulling up. I think the last time I was down there, the guy pulled out a buck knife, probably like a 9-inch blade, rusted as hell. It had been in there for a long time, and half of a gun, like an old 6-shooter, that also looked like it'd probably been in there the better part of 100 years. SoCal says, I'm going to say that today was officially absolute worst day I've had on the water. Man, that stinks. I'm sorry, man. Some days you just need to pack her in and put it away and try a different time. Diamond Tierra says, I'm jelly. It's 10 here in St. Louis and I wish I could fish this late. You could always, are you in one of them states that doesn't allow night fishing? I love night fishing. I don't have the lighting gear set up for it right now. I'd have to use, I think the only lights that I have that would be useful are like my DeWalt work lights. But I love to night fish. Anytime, Fishy Fingers. You're in here all the time, man, so I figure you're always chill. Bouncer Slab. I lost my buddy after 19 and a half years. He was my favorite dog family member. I'm still not over him. Ah, man, losing pets stinks. Well, that's part of having pets. We know when we get them that they have short lifespans, but it's always hard when they go. I probably shouldn't even admit to this on cam, but I've got 6 indoor cats that I have rescued over the years. And then I have, since I moved here to Montana, I now have 2, I call them my basement dwellers, 2 stray cats that come in and out of my basement that I feed. So I basically have 8 cats, which is about 8 too many for any sane person. Mama Cookie says, we went to the local reservoir yesterday and saw carp spawning. Oh, it's so cool. I have a couple of videos of last year when the carp were spawning in the pond behind me here. It's so neat to watch them, and it's so frustrating. I went over there for like 3 days straight trying to get the dang spawning carp to bite, and they're too busy effing and fighting to worry about eating, so I couldn't get them to bite. Josie says, Thunderstruck caught a nice smallie today. Oh, I didn't see him stream. Dang, if I would have saw him streaming, I would have stopped in and said hi. Bouncer says, Jackson, honestly miss my dog family more than my own mother. Hope that's not wrong. We form bonds with pets, man. You know, it's natural to miss them like they were family, because, I mean, they are. Black Smithereen says, sick, I love that. I have an archaeology minor, so I'm a dork and I get hard over anything historical. Archaeology is cool. Maybe you can give me some tips. My son is always, his favorite thing to do is to find fossils. And I've been trying to find somewhere good to take him around here in Montana. And I don't know what kind of landscape I'm looking for to help him find some fossils. SoCal says $135 lure lost, 6 donkey rigs lost, 3 Carolina rigs, 2 broken rods, 1 small catfish, and to top it off, when I went to load the boat, one of the bunks was torn off the trail. Like, good God, man. I think I'd be drinking too. Diamond Tier says, no, I can fish at night, I just can't see with 4 eyes, and I'm scared of the coyotes. Yeah, you gotta take some. Fishing at night gets sketchy if you're fishing alone. But it's fun. Just get some good lights and a buddy to go along and you'll have a good time. And some bug spray, definitely some bug spray. Randy Roth, me to Bouncer, I had a McCall parrot. He was yellow, blue, and gold, and you just passed 3 Tuesdays ago. He was 29, had a heart attack sleeping. Birds are weird pets. Randy Roth, I'm sorry to hear that. Sucks to lose pets. My mom has birds. Her bird hates me though. I've been trying to befriend that damn bird for like 3 years, and every time I go over there, he tries to bite me. Bouncer says, I'm an antique collector and historian. The young folks overlook everything now. Yeah, most people, they can't appreciate old things. I love old things. Rusty things, weird things. I'm pretty sure my bait's gone here. There's no way. Oh. Gone. All right. Give me a moment, guys. I'm gonna put some new worms on here to feed to the fish. And I keep forgetting. I keep saying I'm gonna bring my damn leeches down here to try. And I keep forgetting. Y'all ever fish with leeches? They work really well around here for walleye. I wanted to try them at the pond here and see if the bass might like them. All right, my worms are getting the heat, man, just turning them into mush. They are definitely no longer kicking. We're gonna cast more over this way this time. All right. Oh, there's a bass jump right there. They're hitting top, or they're jumping. Do I need to bust out the whopper plopper? Mark Travis says, nice lake. Yeah, it's a pretty, it's not a lake, it's actually a pond, but it's quite pretty here. Julie says he's home now. He had a good day. 15 small. Wow, that's a heck of a day. I wish I could catch 15. I wish I could catch 1 bass at this point. Black Smithereen says, yeah, sedimentary rock, shale. Yeah, I just need to find, I need to look up and see where here in Montana that I would find that. We found a few, but it's normally like fill rock that they, cart in from somewhere. They're building a road, or sometimes the rip-rap rock that they put down next to lakes and streams. We find them sometimes, but I don't know where the natural deposits are of it to go take them. And sorry guys, I'm way behind on chat again. I'm gonna. Bouncer says we caught 175 perch and 12 crappie earlier today. Dear Lord, man. Black Smithereen says my dad happens to be a geologist. We grew up fossil hunting, go to river spots with layered rock. You're in a river valley, so there's lots of glacial deposits, and finding shale will be difficult. Okay. Yeah, SoCal, I did watch you throw it, and I have a better idea of how you're fishing it now. You're much more active with it than I was. I mean, I was just doing jerk, and then letting it rest, and then I'd reel a little bit, and then jerk, and it looks like you're much more active with it. You're doing a series of small jerks while you're reeling with it, and so yeah, I think I got the gist of it now. Black smithereens, cut banks that look like clay or soil, not that you want, like 1 millimeter, basically mud compacted, then just break them up with a hammer. And you can also look at Missoula geology maps, or call them. Okay. Appreciate the tips there. Randy says, I have a lot of big shark teeth as big as your hand. I got over 2,000. 1,000 big as your hand. Yeah, the couple that we found were, I found a piece of petrified wood, and then he found a couple of fossilized shells of something. I have no idea what the heck they are. Julie asked, what kind of fish are in the water you're fishing in, Rod? There's quite a few different kinds of fish in here. I'm targeting common carp on this pole, and they're not having it. But most people fish for largemouth bass in here. They get to be about 5-6 pounds. They're pretty good size. There's tiny little yellow perch in here, 4, 5, maybe 6 inches max. There's tiny little bluegill, tiny little pumpkinseed, tiny little yellow bullhead, black bullhead. There's supposedly rainbow trout and brook trout in here, though I really don't believe it. I've never seen or heard of anyone catch one here, other than one guy who says he caught one 10 years ago. There's goldeye in here. There are, what are they called? Shiners. I'm forgetting something. Basically a bunch of the itty bitty little tiny fish. Most people here they come here to fish for largemouth bass or the bluegills. And the bluegills, they're not worth catching. I mean, they're 2-3 inches. They're just the dinkiest of dinks. And I try every once in a while for the bass, and I've never had great luck with them. The biggest one I've pulled out of here was just under 3 pounds, but almost every other one that I've pulled was, well under a pound. They're just small. Good sized carp that come out of here, though. I caught an 8.5 pounder last year, and I've seen some 10, 12 pounders swimming around in here. Mama Cookie says, have a wonderful evening. I'm going to call it a night. It's past 11 here. Well, thanks for stopping through, Mama Cookie. I appreciate you joining the live and hanging out. You have a wonderful evening as well. We're here for maybe another 40 minutes or so till it gets dark. At the rate we're going, I don't know if we're actually going to catch a fish, but we are going to hang out until the sun goes down and try.
Oh, it's cold down there.
Like right now, I'm getting nibbles, but it just feels like a bluegill. They just keep picking away at my worm until they're gone. Black Smithereen says, yeah, they go for hard quality for riprap, natural deposits for fossils like that mid-zone between riverine deposits and mountain glacial terrain. Okay. Black Smithereen says, I found a megalodon tooth once at Point Reyes, and my dog ate it in the back seat like a treat by the time we got home. Well, that's some shit. Did you follow him around with a little plastic baggie and get it back? I don't know why when you said that. I don't know if y'all have. I don't know how old my audience is here, but if y'all have ever watched Cheech and Chong, or he's like, what was that shit? And he's like, well, there's a little bit of Labrador, and there's a little bit of. He's like, what do you mean Labrador? And he goes on to explain that his dog ate his stash, and he had to follow him around with a little plastic baggie for a week to get it back. That's what that just made me think of. You've been Thunderstruck says, what's up, Rod? What's up, Thunderstruck? How you doing, bro? I heard you had a really good day smallmouth bass fishing. You killed it. I ain't caught a damn thing tonight. I've just been sharing my worms with all of the local fish.
That's my foot.
Black Smithereen says, I met Cheech, got his autograph when I was 14 at a local community college on a Chicano art tour. Right on. Yeah, my brothers, when they were down in California, apparently went to a Cheech and Chong show and said it was quite interesting. They were throwing out autographed mini bongs and stuff to the crowd, and my brother just said fucking as soon as they came on stage that everybody just started throwing joints at them, that there was just the whole stage was littered with joints. Sounded like quite the sight. But yeah, that's just immediately what that reminded me of when you said your dog ate it. My dog ate my stash. Vernon Austin says hi. Welcome to the live, Vernon. How you doing, man? Thunderstruck says, James, what's up from Arkansas also? Arkansas. I know I've been through Arkansas. I don't think I ever stopped for anything in Arkansas except for gas. Vernon says Delaware. Yeah, that's another state I've never been to. Thunderstruck says, yeah, that was Up in Smoke. Yeah, that's what it was, Up in Smoke. Good movie. I had to show my girlfriend that recently. She'd never watched it. I always make references to Cheech and Chong, and so many of the people around me have no. I feel like an idiot. Like you reference a movie, you make a quote, it's funny, you laugh, and they look at you like you're stupid or weird. I was like, God, have you never seen Cheech and Chong? Come on. Thunderstruck says I have every. So yeah, some Labrador, man. Such a good scene. That's some heavy shit, man. I ain't never had some shit like that. What that shit? That's some Labrador, man. What was the one that had Pee Wee Herman in it, where he's like in the insane asylum? I think Pee Wee was in a couple of them, but what was the one that he was in the insane asylum and he was the Hamburglar or whatever? Still hard to answer my phone, Sergeant Stadenko. Oh God, I love Cheech and Chong. I love the humor. Vernon says, I'm at the Atlantic Ocean, southern Delaware. Right on. I've seen pictures of that area. It looks beautiful over there. No, not Pee Wee Herman. I'm not talking about the Pee Wee, the Big Talk Pee Wee, Pee Wee Herman's Big Adventure. I'm not talking about those. I'm talking about the, because I've seen those. God, that brings back some memories. Speaking of which, didn't he die recently? I forget what his actual name is. But no, there was one or two Cheech and Chong movies that Pee Wee was also in, and there was the one where Cheech and Chong got, it was, I think both of them or one of them got trapped in an insane asylum with Pee Wee. It's just, he always played such weird characters, and I'm getting bites on this pole again. I gotta catch this one. All right. Are you there? Of course you're not. Jesus Christ, why do I even bother? I'm gonna start throwing bricks in the water. I think I'd have better luck at this point catching a fish. Caddyshack was a good movie. Wasn't Pee Wee and Still Smoke? It was one of them. In fact, I want to say he was in more than one of them. He was in the same like comedy circuit, you know, back in the day with Cheech and Chong. Matthew Carlin, welcome to live. I'm in SC, Southeast US, South Carolina and Southeast USA. Well, welcome. We're located, the stream is in Montana. We're in central Montana. I like the grow house under the pool. Vernon Austin asks, what rig and bait are you using? We're set up pretty basic right now. I use, if you watch my streams, a lot of what I fish with are, it's called a high-low rig, and I have a lot of different variations of the high-low rig that I fish. It's essentially like a 30 to 36 inch steel leader that has two standoffs on it, which are like a metal T, like a stainless steel T that sticks off. It basically keeps your lines off of the main line off of the leader. And then from those T's I run, like on the right pole here, I'm set up for carp. It's like a 8-inch fluorocarbon leader with like a 1/0 or a 2/0 bait hook, and I have bread balls on them, bread balls dipped in strawberry jello. And then on this pole, I'm running basically the same rig, a high-low rig with a little bit longer leaders. The top standoff, I have about a 16-inch leader with a little corky on the end of it, which makes the bait float up off the bottom with a worm. And then the second hook is just you know, an 8-inch fluorocarbon with the worm, and it lays on the bottom. And then on the bottom of the high-low rig, the very end of it is, you know, a half ounce sinker. So they're bottom rigs, but again, the little corky on the one pole that I'm holding allows the one hook to float up out of the water. So nothing very fancy, just a basic rig. Big Bass YT says, I'm back. Welcome back, Big Bass. Thunderstruck. He was in Nice Dreams. Yeah, that was the one, Thunderstruck. Thank you. Looks like Carolina rig, if I'd guess. No, Black Smithereens. I'll show you the next. In fact, I could pull it in. My worm feels like it's probably gone. Paul Rubin. Yes, that was his name. Didn't he die recently? I want to say I saw something within the last year or so that he passed. I know that he got in a lot of trouble a decade or so ago. Maybe it was longer than that, for whacking off in an adult theater. He kind of fell off the map after that. I never really saw him much. I love life and the most dangerous game. It's part of my heritage. Big Bass asks, did you move spots? I moved the camera slightly. My stream crapped out again. So I tried adjusting it so it doesn't, so I don't lose connection. I've been having a heck of a time lately. It seems like if I don't have at least 3 bars of service, that my YouTube stream intermittently craps out, or it goes into a loop and everybody leaves. Fishy Fingers says, I keep thinking of the wrong movie. I'm thinking of the movie Pee Wee was a coke dealer. Is that Nice Dreams? It's been years since I've seen Nice Streams. I just remember he was in an insane asylum, and there was something about a fraudulent check, and he was the Hamburglar man. I don't know. That was a weird movie. Oh, there we go. That's a carp. Someone's playing with it. He didn't take it. Why didn't he take it? Take it. Come on. I've been waiting for you all night. Please take my bait. Y'all saw that? Man. They're just playing with me. Okay, so Nice Dreams was the only one he's in. All right, jeez, I fall so far behind in chat. I need to stop commenting on everything and just read it. Next movie. Okay, yeah, I thought it was more than one. Blacksmith, you can catch way more fish if you take meth. I don't, but I see people doing it and they last for like 3 days. It's awesome. It's like a fishing drug designed for fishing. No comment on that one, Blacksmith. Wasn't next movie, was Nice Dreams. Have all their movies. A Thunderstorm, I swear he was in more than one. I know you're right, absolutely right. It was that he was in Nice Dreams, but I thought there was at least a cameo, and I don't think he played a large role, but I think he had a cameo in one other one. Bouncer says, okay, have a nice evening, everyone. I'm a bum and decided to go visit the Museum of Natural History tomorrow because my daughter wants to fly over. Aquarium is stop number 2. Oh, hell yeah, that sounds fun. I love museums and aquariums and zoos, and you're going to have a blast. Have fun, Bouncer. Dave? Who's Dave? Dave's not here. Yeah. That's one of the references. Dave's not here. I say that all the time, fishy fingers, and nobody has any clue what the hell I'm talking about. I always feel retarded when I do it. It's like, how do you not know that movie reference? He got caught petting the weasel in a theater, but that was like, yeah, maybe it's my sense of time. I forget how old I am sometimes. But yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe that was a couple decades ago. All right, Thunderstruck, I believe you. I'm not gonna argue. You own the movie spree. We'll take your advice. High-low rig steel readers. Vernon Austin, yes, it's a high-low rig steel leader. They're primarily used for saltwater fishing, from what I understand. I don't know how I got turned on to them. I started using them years and years ago for catfishing. It was always a catfish rig. I started out with crappie rigs. I would always use crappie rigs for catfishing, but I kept having them break off. And then I realized that there was basically the same setup with steel leaders, and I started using those, and I love them. They're so versatile. I can fish them so many different ways. But yeah, it's a saltwater fishing rig. But I use them for freshwater because I don't do saltwater fishing, and they're incredibly useful. Randy Ross says, Bouncer, I worked at a motorcycle shop 32 years. My family shop, we closed down. My uncle's shop, I was a tech. Nice, Randy. I used to ride bikes back in the day. I haven't ridden in a couple of decades. All right, I'm catching up on chat here. So you guys saw the carp bite that was just playing with me. We didn't catch it. Hopefully he comes back. Dennis Smith, OG Big Dog. Hello, catching any? Nah, Dennis, welcome to the live. We haven't caught anything yet. We did have one good strike on the carp rod a couple of minutes ago, but he hit and left. And I've been having itty bitty little strikes on my worm rig here on the high-low rig. Well, in the 3.5 hours I've been here, but haven't managed to catch anything. Did you know the guy who did Venom in Spaceballs? God, Spaceballs, I haven't seen that in so long. Oh, it was a good movie. Like John Candy. John Candy was in Spaceballs. I forget who else was in that movie. For Crow, because I go fishing and not to the theater. Can't lie, I don't know the references that much, but I know the hosts of a lot of movies. The scene where the chick did the huge rail at Ajax, yeah. She's all, arf, arf, arf. It's funny. He's just sitting there playing with it, cutting up lines, fucking wasting time, and she swoops in and snorts the whole line. He's like, wow, man. uh, Gardner, yes, I remember you. I hope you're doing all right, Gardner. Welcome back to the live. Outfish, welcome, welcome. How you doing today? We're not catching anything. They're just taunting me again. I'm growing to despise this pond. It's just been crap this year. That's all right though. I'm still having fun. The best scene, hands down, was when they get in the car and do a circle in the road to the neighbor's house. Yeah. Get in, roll around, and park right across the street. How's your day going, Outfish? What are you up to, man? Yes, Gardner, I remember you. How you doing? Welcome. Fish stick, any luck? Nope, they're just teasing me. We've had lots of bites. We just had a really nice bite on the carp line, but normally they're known that if you guys have fished for carp much, or watched any like the carp underwater videos, they're weird. They go around and they basically suck everything up off the bottom, and they're like, "Is that food? No," and they spit it out. "Is that food? No," and they spit it out. So sometimes you'll get them, they pick it up, and you'll get your line jingle, but they decided whatever it was wasn't food. And I think that's what just happened. Because when they decide it's food, they just swim away with it and your pole bends in half. Bouncer PDF says he will go live in a week. He's been so busy. Who's PDF? I probably know who you're talking about. I just don't know the acronym there. Who are you referring to? Peruvian flakes. Gardner, I've been trying. I have been trying. I have not yet managed to catch anything. I should just throw on a micro hook here and catch something. Cheech and Chong's next movie, Pee-wee did cameo in the comedy club scene where Cheech gets on stage and Red showed him. I thought so, SoCal. You're right. Thunderstruck, I am sorry, sir, but you are wrong. I now remember the scene that SoCal is describing. He was in the next movie. It was a cameo at the comedy club. Pee was such a weird guy. I don't know how that man ever got his own show, but that's kind of like, who is it's been a decade since I've heard anything about him. The Canadian guy that was just super crude. Funny as hell, but super crude. Johnny Wants a Sausage. What the hell was that guy's name? Tall, goofy looking guy. There was a movie, Freddy Got Fingered. Somebody tell me who I'm thinking of. He was from Canada. He had a comedy show for a while. Tom Green, yes, there you go. Thank you. Tom Green. The Tom Green Show. But yeah, like Pee Wee Herman, like I don't know what, like Tom Green is the Pee Wee Herman of like the next generation. Just weird, stupid comedy, but you can't help but laugh at him. Tom Green. Facro says it's pitch black and 10:30 here. It's honestly always amazing to see how far behind the Northwest is on the sunset. You know, I get that a lot, and I've had people further west than me come in my streams. Not when I've been fishing, because I used to stream on a couple of different platforms, just streaming, bullshitting, chatting, and they'd be like, "It's pitch dark here. You know, I'm in Oregon or Washington. How is it still light there?" I think it's because I'm at such high elevation. I'm up in the Rocky Mountains, so I think because I'm so high, we get a later sunset, maybe? That's the only thing I can think of. Outfish Ontario asks, have you heard of Red Green, the Red Green show? No, that doesn't sound familiar. I'll have to look that up, Outfish. Bouncer says, I really don't want to leave such a wonderful chat, but my daughter's wishes are the boss. Yeah, you can't deny the daughter. Go take care of what you got to take care of. But Bouncer, as always, appreciate you stopping in and hanging out and chatting. All y'all, thanks for hanging out with me. Especially, I mean, y'all are sitting here watching my back and my fishing poles, and I haven't got a damn thing. So y'all are cool. I appreciate it. One of these days, I'm gonna find a better spot to stream that I can show you some cool fish. Maybe this spot, maybe once it cools down, the bite will pick up. But if not, I've been actively, like before I started my stream today, I drove around for 4 hours just scoping out spots, trying to find somewhere that's got decent coverage. I'm having a heck of a time. SoCal says Tom Green is a damn weird. You are absolutely 100% correct. He is a weird guy. I'm pretty sure I would never like to hang out with him. But he's just one of those guys that it's like his humor is so cringe, but sometimes he's just, it's like you want to smack him, but at the same time you can't help but laugh. Red Green is a good old school stuff outdoorsman that likes his duct tape. You know, Outfish, now that you mention that, I might have, I'm gonna have to look it up. You're ringing some bells there. I think I might know who you're talking about. Too much rain to go drown worms tonight. How is it raining where you're at? We had a bunch of rain last week. I don't think it's supposed to rain this week. It's been really nice. Windy and hot. Thunderstruck says, you fishing, we watching. Yeah, well, I appreciate it, and as long as y'all are enjoying the view, I mean, it is a good view. I don't understand why none of the fish are biting. Well, they are biting. It's just the itty bitties. I honestly think it's the heat. Like again, that's why I'm fishing bottom rigs right now. I've been harassed the last 2 times that I came here by nothing but just dinks. All the bluegill, all the baby perch. Figured if I threw my rig to the bottom, most those species aren't bottom feeding fish. I figured I'd catch some white sucker or some carp. But I think because the water's so warm, everything's going to the bottom. Oh, there was a bite. Just a nibble though. Red was a good show. That movie Road Trip where the snake bites him in the face was hilarious. Yeah. Same here, Blacksmith. I was thinking of the movie Blow with Pee-wee. Was Pee-wee in Blow? That's the one with Johnny Depp and that hot Latina chick. What was her name? The one that like double crosses him. Penelope Cruz? He wasn't in Blow, was he? For Crow says, you in the northwest side of the major mountains, that's why the sun sets. Yeah, I am. We're central Montana. I'm right, you know, on the edge of the Rocky Mountains, Cascade Mountains. But in general, the elevation here is fairly high. That's what I assumed is the reason why my sunset is so late compared to a lot of the other places. I'm just so high above, you know, high elevation. Bouncer, thank you for joining. Have a good night. Fish sticks, I miss playing hockey. I never tried. Of all the years that I've lived in place where ice skating and hockey is such a huge, I've never tried ice skating. Never in my life. Jennifer Connelly, Black Smithereens. We thinking of the same movie? And Ray Loyetta. It was Blow. Funny thing, George and Tuna apartment in that movie was here in San Diego. One of the shittiest neighborhoods in the country. Interesting. I think I'm the only one left at the lake. I think everybody else left, or the pond, I should say. And I guess I really didn't take that into consideration too. That's another thing I'm thinking about. Fishing, it probably also hasn't been great because every time I come here, there's like 9 billion people swimming within, 25, 30 feet of where I'm trying to fish. So I'm sure that doesn't help. I don't know. Like I said, I've been struggling, like trying to find somewhere to fish that gets a decent signal. Y'all are lucky that live in less rural places. I'm literally, one of these days, I'm gonna have to break down and get a frickin' Starlink Mini or something so I can stream. Neighbor says, switch spots, huh? Well, like I said, I don't know if you missed it earlier, but I was saying that before I started today's live, I drove around literally for 4 hours scoping out spots, trying to check cell signal, checking fish brain to see, if there been any decent catches in the area. I threw a line in for a little bit at a couple of places. But the problem that I found is that almost everywhere that I know that is a good fishing spot has either no signal or like one bar. And the few places that I found that look like might be okay fishing spots have, 2 bars that switch into 1 bar. And it's not enough to do a stable stream from. Sun Thriving Alaska says, fish brain is trash. I happen to disagree. I love fish brain. I've been using fish brain for a few years and I have found it to be quite handy. But it's all up to you. I mean, you're welcome to your own opinion. Crappy Man Jigs, welcome, welcome. How you doing, man? Doing good. We haven't had any luck tonight. That's all right, though. I'm still enjoying myself. We got another, I don't know, 20 minutes or so before the sun sets on us, I think. Had one good hit on the carp rod, but then it left. And I've had a bunch of bites on my worm rig here, but it's just dinks again playing with me. How's your night going, Crappy Man? Fish Stick says, or go fishing in peace. Thunderstruck says, signal really limits where I can stream to. So many good spots with no service. That's what I found. All of my favorite spots, Thunderstruck, are super remote. And there's, I might get a bar, like at one spot in the lake, and then it goes away. Like I catch stuff, and I've mentioned it before. I use FishBrain, and I post most of my catches to FishBrain. So I will spend my entire fishing trip trolling around and catching fish, and like I hit the spot where I get 1 bar, and I try and post a fish. It's just so frustrating. I've honestly been considering trying to wire up and figure out the logistics and battery to set up a Starlink Mini on my boat, or on a portable fishing cart or something, so I can take my internet with me. But Sir Thriving Alaska, why do you think FishBrain is trash? What don't you like about it? Bouncer says, before I go, I want you all to check out the latest sunspots and geomagnetic storms. We have volcanic activity everywhere and earthquakes are too many. Please be safe and stay vigilant. I'll check that out, Bouncer. Neighbors, something cool about FishBrain I learned is my favorite fisherman fishes the same town as me from FishBrain. Yeah, that's one of the things that I like about it is I've met probably, I don't know, 10, maybe 12 really cool people off of FishBrain that are actively fishing my area. I run into them all over the damn place. I've, fished with them a couple of times. End up fishing with them when I run into them. It's a good app to learn from. It's nice to see where people are catching stuff, what they're catching it on. Crappy Man says, still looks like a nice day out though. Yeah, it's a gorgeous day. Any day I'm out on the water, even if I'm not catching fish, I'm enjoying myself. It's so peaceful out here. Thunderstruck says maybe fish turned off for tonight because of the solar flares. Maybe, I don't know. I've mentioned it a few times. I'm pretty sure this particular pond, because it's so shallow, I think it had a fish kill over the winter. I've caught a handful of things out of here this year, and everything has been smaller than what I was catching last year and the year before, and much less frequent. So I have a strong feeling that there was a lot of stuff has died in here. Wait, the fish are stopping biting because of solar flares now too? Great, right? What else do we need? Bentley's adventure. Should I shoot my shot and ask my crush out? Bentley, you live once, man. Give it a shot. Do it. Honestly, the worst thing is somebody's going to say no. You move on with your life, but you will kick yourself. There have been times in my life where I wish I got myself out of my shell and said some things when I didn't. SoCal says 100 amp hour 12 volt lithium battery pack, approximately 1280 watt hours usable power. That runs your Starlink for about 32 hours straight. No shit, you can get 32 hours of power out of 100 amp. That's good to know. I assumed it was going to be much more power draw than that. Because right now I have two batteries on my boat. I have not yet finished rigging up the... Oh, good God. There is a guy going down this back road with a truck and a horse trailer, and there is no turnaround at the end of that road. He's about to have a very unpleasant evening. He's gonna find out in a moment that was a wrong turn. But anyways, yeah, so I have the two boats on the battery, and I have, the battery switch and all the electronics to hook up so I can charge both of the batteries at the same time and power the crank off of one and then, my accessories off of the other. I just haven't gotten around to hooking it all up. I need to do some modifications to my little John boat to have somewhere to mount all of it. But if that's the case, then yeah, I could probably run the Starlink Mini off of the accessory battery, and I would be able to fish, the entire day off of it. Lithiums are crazy. I troll for 3 days off of one charge. Oh yeah, Crappy? That's one thing too. My John boat is just really basic. I don't have an electric trolling motor on it yet. I troll with my freaking 75 horse jet motor. It's not pretty. I'm so jealous y'all that have the trolling, the electric trolling motors on there with spot lock, and you can auto follow contours and... SoCal says I want spot lock so bad. Yeah, SoCal, I'm like you. I'm still throwing frickin' jankled, 20-pound anchor off the edge with my chain and rope, and And it looked like you were having the same problem I always have too. Once that wind picks up, even with your anchor, you know, I have a good 10, 12 foot of heavy chain on the end of my anchor as well. And wind picks up and my anchor, you know, skips across the bottom. I don't stay anchored and it drives me nuts. Thunderstruck says, alright, I'm gonna shower. I'll be back unless you end live. Have a great night, everyone, in case I don't make it back. Alright, Thunderstruck, thanks for stopping through. Always appreciate your company and hanging out. I might be live. It seems like the sunset's a little lower than it was, or a little later than it was a couple of days ago, so we might have another 20 minutes to a half hour of stream time. We're gonna hang out here for a while. Crappy Man Jig says, later bro, Black Smithereens. Yeah, I got a folding fatty. It was a startup. Saunders Fold, XS Red. Black Smithereens, what the hell are you talking about? What the hell's a folding fatty? Outfish Ontario, right on, Founder. You two pretty much have to do the same. Little wind and the anchor just dragging. All right, Outfish, if you're taking off too, thanks for stopping by. Always appreciate it. I keep missing y'all's lives. I heard that Thunderstruck was live earlier today. And Ontario, did you stream it all today? I think I was, after I went live, I was trying to get my live open on my second phone here, and I saw that Crappy Man Jigs was streaming too, so I'm missing everybody's streams. Zyro's Garden, welcome. How you doing? Crappy Man Jig says, I got an e-bike from a sponsor. It's got a lithium, also pretty sweet. It goes to 40 miles an hour. That sounds fun. I've always wanted to pick up one of those little e-bikes and play around on it. Bouncer says, I'm not a complete nobody. That's our cover. This is to be taken seriously. We actually care. Smithereen, 750 watt, 32 mile per hour on lock. Got her up to 52 downhill, but she's class 2, so only capable of 20 miles per hour. 52 miles an hour on a little bike sounds slightly terrifying. Outfish says, nope, took a family day after work today. Fair enough. We can't fish or stream every day. As much as I would like to, I don't get to, but it's all good. Bentley's Adventure says, just asked my crush. She said nothing. It's all right, man. Give her some time. Nothing is better than a no. I'm sure she'll say something. And even if she doesn't, you shoot your shot. It is what it is. All right, we're gonna check the worms here one more time. I'm pretty sure they're both gone. And we'll give her one more final cast out for the night. Yep, bait is gone. Figured as much. I wish I could take you guys to Pishkin Reservoir. That's probably my favorite place to fish around here. I catch pike all dang day there. They're not monsters, but they're so fun to catch. And the last time I went, they were actually, I was having a bigger average than normal. I think the smallest one I caught this last trip that I went over the weekend was 4 pounds. Biggest one just under 6 pounds. So again, not monsters, but good size. Fat too. They're getting fat this time of the year. I got rained out of there though. I only got about a half day fishing there. Normally I like to, when I go there, I like to get there to ass crack of dawn and stay there until there's no daylight left. I'll troll for 12, 14 hours. Stop here and there to to throw lures for a little bit. Oh, the bats are out. the guy with the horse trailer that I mentioned about 10 minutes ago, he is now backing down the dirt road with his horse trailer. Poor guy. Black Smithereens, I live up in Maine mountains, so a lot of logging roads and gates, and you can hunt from the e-bike loaded because it's not a... Oh yeah, they'll, well, still not from the road though, right? You can't shoot from the road. You get in big trouble here in Montana if they catch you shooting from a road. Ty Whaley, welcome to the live. We're getting nibbles on this pole already. Tell you, the moment it hits the water, those bluegills just swarm it. And it takes them about 5 to 10 minutes to pick the damn worms off. But Ty Whaley, is the sun just coming up over there? No, it's sunset. We got maybe 15, maybe 20 minutes more daylight left. SoCal says backing a trailer that far sucks. It really does. Like I've mentioned before, I just started, I've been a bank fisherman my entire life. 3 years ago, I finally bought a boat, and I have been absolutely loving it. But I've never really driven, you know, with a trailer before, you know, 3 years ago. So I'm getting better at it, definitely better at it. But man, I still get squirrely with it sometimes. It's like, holy crap, my brain isn't working right now. Why is it not turning the way that I'm thinking it should be turning? So yeah, to back it down a long ways like that, oh God. I know a few weeks ago I went to a new lake, and good Lord, the boat launch there is like, I shit you not, it's got to be about 70 yards. Like it's 3/4 of a football field. It is the longest boat ramp I've ever seen in my entire life, and it's one lane and just long, you know, just wide enough for your boat to fit on it. You know, you got maybe 2 feet of excess on either side. And I had a hell of a time getting my boat in there. I did it. I managed to get it in. But I'm very thankful that there was nobody waiting on me. I was there. I was the only one there. But yeah, so backing the boat down just, I mean, 60, 70 yards. It was quite the task. So this guy, he's got about, oh, that was a good bite. Oh, come on. Don't just bite it, take it. Can we get the skunk out? We got one final fish here. Or was that a bat? Maybe it was a bat. Oh shit. Oh, you guys, I gotta go. Holy crap, I was supposed to go pick up my girlfriend at 10. What an asshole. I gotta go, guys. She's at work waiting for me, and it's a 15-minute drive. Thank you all for coming to hang out. I totally spaced that I was her ride. Thanks for joining all. I gotta take off.